results of the USL matchups each week of the season. Make sure to cast your vote for the USL Goal of the Week every Monday evening at USLsoccer.com as the road to the Fans' Choice USL Goal of the Year continues throughout this season. The USL's official Twitter feed keeps you up to date with news, live game updates, and highlights from around the league 24/7. Follow at USL on Twitter. The USL's official Facebook page brings you the best from across the league with news, highlights, and interactive features. Like the USL on Facebook, get the league's best content delivered to you. TFC2 fans, United Soccer League, and Toronto FC2 would like to proudly welcome you to Landport Stadium for tonight's match featuring the visiting Louisville City FC and your Toronto FC2. The officials for tonight's match, the referee is Pierre-Luc Lozier. The assistant referees are Melissa Snedden and Peter Penley. The fourth official is David Berry. The official time will be kept on the field by the referee, and the additional time on the clock will be indicated by the fourth official on the sideline. Here's tonight's starting lineup for Louisville City FC. The starting goalkeeper, number 28, Tim Dabrowski. A defender, number 24, Kyle Smith. A defender, number 3, Alexi Suwaki. A defender, number 5, Paco Craig. A defender, number 19, Oscar Jimenez. A midfielder, number 36, Paulo Del Piccolo. A forward, number 39, Jonathan Lewis. A midfielder, number 80, Devin Williams. A forward, number 12, Luke Spencer. A midfielder, number 14, Ilya Illich. And a forward, number 10, Brian Ombie. The head coach of Louisville City FC is John Hackworth. And here are the substitutes for your TFC2. The goalkeeper, number 30, Borja Engamita. A defender, number 63, Luke Singh. A midfielder, number 55, Aiden Daniels. A midfielder, number 58, Jordan Faria. A forward, number 64, Sean Humble. And a forward, number 77, Jordan Brissa. And now here is TFC2's starting 11. The starting goalkeeper, number 28, Caleb Patterson Sewell. A defender, number 36, Tim Cool. Defender, number 38, Kyle Burathan. Defender, number 49, Robert Bostovich. Defender, number 54, Ryan Telfer. Midfielder, number 59, Noble Okello. Midfielder, number 48, Dante Campbell. Midfielder, number 56, Malik Johnson. Midfielder, number 50, Max Serval. Midfielder, number 46, Subasa Endo. And the lone forward, number 20, Ayo Akinola. The head coach of your TFC2 is Michael Raskin.
The coach? Just one more home match here in downtown Toronto for Toronto FC 2 as their home schedule comes to an end. A visit from the playoff-bound Louisville City FC. Good evening to you all watching on USLsoccer.com and ESPN+. I am Gareth Wheeler alongside former Canadian international Terry Dunfield. A chilly night here. It's really fall football weather. And Toronto FC 2 looking to end their home schedule on a high note, Terry. They're bottom in the Eastern Conference. They're taking on a playoff-bound Louisville team who they actually beat down in Kentucky 4-1 just a few weeks back. So potentially another statement performance at their hands tonight.
It seems as though TFC2 really pick up some of their performances against some of the bigger sides in the league. They come in pretty good form after a fantastic 2-1 result in Charleston.
And you mentioned it, against the battery, Toronto FC 2, impressive. And that's what we've seen from this very young team, is them really grow as the season goes on. And that man that scored that goal right there, Ako Akinola, his fingerprints, or should I say footprints, all over it. Jordan Hamilton would turn out to be the winning goal, but it's really Ayo Akinola tonight that will lead the line. 5 goals in the season for TFC2.
Yeah, he spent time with the first team as well. He's an out-and-out striker who really needs service in and around that box, and if he gets good service, he's got goals in him. He's also has experience on the international stage with the US U17 team.
Louisville FC, well, they're trying to balance the rest of their schedule. John Hackworth said on their travels here tonight, there will be squad rotation. It will be Ilya Ilic leading the line, 10 goals of the season from the 6'2" Serbian.
Yeah, it's not easy coming in for Lancaster, who leads the league with 21 goals, but this big man up front gives you a real presence. He's also got excellent feet, and he comes from pretty good pedigree, came through Red Star Belgrade's youth system.
It's a chilly night here in Toronto, about 50 degrees Celsius, or Fahrenheit, I should say, 11 degrees Celsius. Just, we'll bundle up, we'll try to stay warm. You can just sit back, kick back, you can wear whatever you want. We will not judge. Get ready for some USL Soccer on USLsoccer.com. Welcome back inside Lamport Stadium under the lights in downtown Toronto as Toronto FC 2 takes on the playoff-bound Louisville City FC, the reigning, 2017 USL champions. And as for the visiting Louisville side, Terry, some squad rotation for head coach John Hackworth tonight. Cameron Lancaster, George Davis IV, among others on the bench.
Yeah, McNabb also drops out. Illich, Lewis, and Spencer come in. It's not going to be easy to replace 33 goals, but a nice opportunity for them. And I think it's Hackworth just protecting his squad a little bit with just 2 games left at home. North Carolina coming up on Tuesday, and then Indy to finish the season.
They are level on points with the Pittsburgh Riverhounds, so it's just a matter of who they will play come playoff time and where they will finish. It's a 4-3-3 formation. As for Toronto FC 2, Jordan Hamilton's come up with a little bit of a knock. He had the match winner against Charleston. So it's Ayo Akinola leading the line in a 4-5-1 formation for Michael Rabaska.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how Ayo Akinola does leading the line. I think he'll have support from Matty Serbo and Sabasa Endo. I thought Boscovich in Charleston, he was different class leading the line at the back.
Michael Rabaska's done a very nice job with Toronto FC 2 since taking over mid-season. Some big wins, including a 4-1 win over Louisville, and of course last week in Charleston to his resume. As for John Hackworth, well, he joined Louisville mid-season as well as James O'Connor made the move to Orlando City. Well-traveled head coach, very good resume to him as well. Terry, former Philadelphia Union head coach. And we're underway here at Lamport Stadium. Louisville going right to left on your television screen. We're in the classy uniforms. It's absolute class. The white and gold Toronto FC 2 donning all red. Like I said, it's a chilly night, a windy night, and the wind is blowing more to your from left to right on your television screen here tonight. Kubel with the early clearance. We'll break down the team formations and lineups as they play out here tonight. Oscar Jimenez, it's an early touch on the ball. Very good left back for this Louisville team.
Yeah, lots of quality. He also takes set pieces. Loves to bomb forward and deliver balls into the box. He's got a nice partnership with Ombi, who just sits in front of him.
Right. Go ahead, Terry.
Ombi yet to get off the mark this season on the goal front, but a real quality player out wide.
Good movement early. Paulo Del Piccolo plays the ball deep into the corner. It's Ryan Telfer coming away with it. He's had more of a run in recent weeks with Toronto FC 2 as the first teams finally got healthy in what seemed to be a marathon of a season.
Yeah, he drops back to that left back slot with Tariq Mohammed suspended due to yellow card accumulation.
Skips off the foot of Telfer. Bjornathan gets there, just gets his header on it. The ball half cleared for a Louisville FC throw-in. It's Jimenez on it. Puts it into the box for the big man. Louisville, very big team, have some serious size, so it's going to be size versus pace. But Spencer coming away with it to number 10, Ownby. Ball pops up into the air, not for the first time, and again, half cleared, shot from distance, that's cut down by number 48 for Toronto FC 2. That's Dante Campbell in her first quarter kick of the match here in the second minute.
Yeah, I thought Ownby took the wrong option there. Nice overlap from him, and as he comes inside, strikes well blocked. Big block also on the second phase there from Dante Campbell.
You called it. Jimenez on set pieces, the left back coming over to take this. Out-swinging corner kick coming up. Caleb Patterson-Sewell in the Toronto FC 2 goal. Good ball to the outside. Ownby gets there, flicks on, flag goes up. No doubt that was offside. Right idea, wrong application. And your match officials tonight for this game, Pierre-Luc Lozier is the referee. Melissa Snedden put up her flag right there, calling the offside. Peter Penley, and the fourth official is the great David Barry.
Actually caught up with David Barry today. He was up assessing referees at the GA Cup that TFC are hosting. Nice showcase event for MLS's academies.
For our listeners, yeah, that's what it's about. It's a youth tournament that's taking place, so a lot of these young players will be featuring prominently in North American football and USL in the not-so-distant future, so a good glimpse here in the local area of some of the up-and-coming talent across this continent. Ownby tries to keep it in play. For our viewers watching from afar, if you're down in Louisville, the lines in the field are a little bit confusing. This field is used for Super League Rugby, and there's a big game, the £1 million game being played here at Lamport Stadium on the weekend. It's actually the yellow lines, which is the out-of-bounds line, so don't be confused by the inner white line. It confuses some players when they're first on this field. It is most certainly the yellow line all the way around.
Looks as Illich is going to drop a little bit deeper and play as that false 9, play off of Spencer.
Illich taken down there, and another early foul. Toronto FC 2, they know they have their hands full tonight, and John Hackworth said that the Louisville would be ready tonight, maybe perhaps took TFC 2 a little bit lightly last time out.
thought in the last game, the 4-1 game in Louisville, a little bit of a surprise result for TFC2, but they played the game at their own tempo. They slowed it down a little bit, frustrated Louisville at times, and were real clinical on what was an excellent counterattack.
Good ball from right to left to right, I should say. Paco Craig with the ball.
I think we'll see a lot of that. The way Louisville like to play is they're a little bit patient with their build, and then when it opens up a little bit, they like that long diagonal in behind fullback. So it'll be important for TFC2 that both Tim Kubel and Ryan Telford do a job on the wide players in the front three of Louisville.
It's cut down really well. Ball out of touch, though. The only negative about these uniforms, Terry, for Louisville, very difficult to see the numbers on their back. When it's light on light, it's an absolute curse for the broadcaster. Thankfully, we have fine cameramen and women here with us in stadium. That was Jonathan Lewis playing down the right-hand side. You can hear the wind really picking up. Truly and earnestly feels like fall weather. It was very mild yesterday, and the weather's just been up and down and all over the place here in the Toronto area. Paulo De Piccolo played most minutes for Louisville of anyone on their team this season. Good to see young Noble Kello back in the team.
De Piccolo is a player I like. He's the talisman, the playmaker for Louisville. Everything will sort of go through him, and then when he sees that the time's right, he'll look to change the tempo like we just saw.
First touch of the ball for Tim Dabrowski. Terry's going to be partial to the baby blue kid. If you're just tuning in, you don't know Terry's resume. Former Man City player.
Long time ago. It pads my CV a little bit. Now that they're the super club.
Still wears the baby blue PJs to bed at night. Serbal coming down the line, putting pressure on Craig. There's been a lot of rotation in Michael Rabaska's TFC2 team over the course of the season, Terry, based on not only injuries and issues within his own side, but the first team as well.
Yeah, at times it's a little bit difficult for him. Building up to a game, you don't always have the players that you're going to train with that they're gonna play on the weekend. Sometimes it's last-minute decisions, players up and down to the first team. Big part of Michael Rabaska's job is not only to go out and get results, but also to develop players, make players better, and hopefully the game plan is to see more transition from players from TFC2 into the first team. Players like Liam Fraser that's made the jump up.
Good pressure by Lewis, forcing Telfer back. Long ball played at a touch. Very dangerous three-man attack for Louisville.
I think that's a Louisville ball boy there. That ball came in pretty quick, didn't it?
Very quick. It's like slow it down. Louisville had a ton of possession in that 4-1 TFC2 win. Just they were very good on the counterattack. Tsubasa Endo was really coming into that team at the time, joining up with the group a couple months ago, and has really helped take this TFC2 to another level.
It's not always easy when you're top of the league. A lot of the time what you see is other teams really raise their performances and relish the opportunity playing against teams at the top of the league, and I think that's exactly what TFC2 did.
Ball one in the middle of the park. Del Piccolo just hits it a little heavy. That Northern Kentucky, I mean, Southern Ohio area, Cincinnati and Louisville, just two teams just have had outstanding campaigns over the last 2 years. Good turn of the ball by Ownby. Plays inside the 18. Patterson Sewell reads that well. Had to get there with the run coming to the far post. Patterson Sewell just trying to get Akinola involved. Well read by the right back, and that's out of touch for another Louisville corner kick. It's one-way traffic thus far. The visitors thoroughly dominating the first 8 minutes of play.
Great decision from Patterson Sewell to come off his line. Brave, positive goalkeeping from him. He's got a nice range as well. Lewis's eyes at the back post for Louisville just lit up. Thought he was going to come right onto a great ball from Ownby.
In-swinging corner kick this time. There's Patterson Sewell. Brilliant beard. Far post, it just floats. Bjornathan maybe gets his head to it, and he does, and that's out of touch.
Interesting from Jimenez already. He's taking a corner kick with his right foot and his left foot. Interesting set piece. Initially, all the players were set up at the near post, and it was a ball back to the edge of the box. This time, Jimenez brings out the in-swinger, or just overhits it a little bit.
Easy pickings there for Caleb Patterson-Sewell, veteran of the USL.
A lot of the attacks are started not only by DePiccolo in midfield, but also Craig. He strokes a very nice diagonal. You can see as soon as he picks it up, Lewis is already on the move, the right winger.
Akinola does well. Here's Malik Johnson. Kubel. It's out of touch, and that's going to be a TFC2 corner kick.
Good heads up on the line there. I thought they were going to the white line there for a second.
Good patience by Akinola holding up the play. He will be the main man tonight. He scored some very good goals on this season and shown why he's a U.S. youth team international, and the reason why Toronto FC as a club is very high on his talent and ability.
Yeah, I think if the service into him is good, as we touched on in the pregame, he's very good in that 18-yard box. He's good in the air as well as running onto things. You can see this Louisville team's very difficult to break down, even with that nice switch of ball that earned the corner kick. They're very disciplined, back into the shape very quickly if they're not able to repress and win that ball high up. 4
big men for TFC2, all high, starting on the near post. Look, four of them all going to the far post now. Crafty by design for Toronto FC2 there. Endo, Akinola. Ball skips up, half clearance. Well done by...
It's a little bit of land of giant,
Luke Spencer.
A little bit land of giants in there on these set pieces. Good header from Smith in the middle.
Well, there's a theme about the 3 men up top. Not much hair up top, and all built like rugby players.
Yeah, with all the change up top for Louisville, the back 4 and 2 holding midfielders, DePiccolo and Williams, still remain the same. Dobrowski, he continues in net.
Ball hangs up. Bjornathan doesn't get there first. That's Spencer. Ownby knocks it down. Telfer right into the path of Illich, and that's goal number 11 on the season. And just like that, Louisville capitalizes on a TFC2 mistake. Poor decision, cool, calm, collected finish, and the visitors take a 1-0 lead.
Yeah, the big man Illich, he takes it quite well. He pounced on a mistake. That ball should have been cleared from TFC2. A little bit route 1 from Louisville. Nice header from Ownby. Drops in the middle of the park. Header's not great. Bjornathan tries to step, and Illich just beats him to it. Nice, clean, composed finish to that bottom corner. Takes a slight deflection off Boskovic. Not a whole bunch Caleb Sewell can do about that.
You're right, it was route 1 or route A. And Bjornathan just doesn't have the size, and Spencer knocked it on, and poor decision on the back clearance, and Illich Johnny on the spot, and the big serve makes it 1-0. And it's a game that's big for Louisville because it's between they and looks like the Pittsburgh Riverhounds dancing and dueling for that second spot in the Eastern Conference.
Yeah, sometimes when you play up against a big man like Bjornathan is up against Spencer right now, you're not going to win that ball. Just give him the respect, let him win that ball, and look to pick up second balls. And Patterson-Sewell was a little bit unlucky. Boskovic tries to come over the left side of center half and just deflects off of him, leaving the goalkeeper no chance.
In fairness, it's been a very slow start to this match for TFC2, something that we typically haven't seen here at home, Terry. Especially coming off a good win over Charleston. It's been a little flat, hasn't it?
Yeah, there's been a little bit of change in shape. It almost looks like a 4-4-1-1, and at the moment when the ball goes up to Akinola and Matty Serbo, it's just coming back a little bit too quickly.
Great turn on the ball by Akinola, comes into the area. Louisville at 6s and 7s have to play it out for a TFC2 quarter kick, their second of the match.
Yeah, nice turn of pace from Akinola, rolls the midfield, and all of a sudden he's attacking the back 4. I thought the back 4 of Louisville collapsed nicely in and around the box. Wasn't a whole bunch on. But really, Akinola creates something out of nothing. Man.
Absolutely, great turn, and on this artificial turf, once that ball gets rolling, pace is everything. In-swinging corner kick, Endo tests the goalkeeper, flicked on by Boskovic. Akinola can keep it in play. Well, he decided to let it go, which is a little bit odd. Oh, there we go, proper decision there. And big throw-in coming up for Tim Kubel. I was wondering why I let it go, and originally the linesman pointed the other way.
Yeah, it was a nice header at the near post from Craig. The delivery from Endo had all sorts of swerve and whip on it.
With this wind as well, Terry, I mean, it can play games. We're right by Lake Ontario, and BMO Field's just down the road, and there's always a constant wind from north to south. Spencer. Jimenez. Dangerous touch, and TFC2 pressing a little bit higher now. Kubel plays that inside. Serbal goes down, and free kick given it.
Yeah, I thought the picture just closed there for Kubel. I thought he could have gone across the pitch to Sebastian Endo. Good body strength from Matty Serbal to win a free kick off Craig. It was a little bit audacious from Craig just before that to play little ball around the corner, almost Van Dijk-esque. Amazing what an early goal can do for your confidence.
Like a Virgil, they say.
Oh, behave.
By they, I think it's just me. Johnson turns on it. Ownby with the tackle. Right call there, despite the protests. Endo's got tons of space down the left-hand side. Just Louisville doing a really nice job closing down time and space here.
Yeah, it's a little, once Matty Serbal starts to show for Kubel there, and he's there for a couple of seconds, once you're not getting that ball, they need a threat in behind, and I think it's got to come from Malik Johnson. He's just struggling to get into the game at the moment.
Select is the official soccer ball of the USL. For the latest Select products and special offers, please visit SelectSportAmerica.com. That's SelectSportAmerica.com. Receive free shipping on orders over $50. Gareth Wheeler and Terry Dunfield with you. Happy to have you along this Friday night. It's a long weekend up here north of the border. Canadian Thanksgiving. Happy gobble gobble to our Canadian viewers tonight. Shot from distance that tests Patterson Sewell high and wide. Well hit though by Devin Williams.
It's just causing some problems in the hole there. He's doing a great job of picking up second balls. As soon as that ball's laid off to Williams, he's only got one thought in his head, and that's to set himself and really strike it from distance. It's got tons of venom in it. Just cuts across it, which is why it goes over the bar a little bit, but nice strike from Williams. Real industrious midfielder, provides a nice screen for the back four.
Kello doing a nice job stepping up, winning that challenge. Wins the second one as well. Johnson. Quick feet. Campbell. Louisville doing a really nice job closing TFC2 down. Bjornathan elects against going back. Playing with fire. He gets burned. Here's Ownby. Gets behind the back line. TFC2 in recovery mode, and Bjornathan has to get back. It's almost the better option at times just to play it safe, Terry. Played himself into trouble.
Yeah, Bjornathan could have possibly gone back to the goalkeeper. He takes a little bit of an unnecessary risk, in my opinion, and then all of a sudden, the press from Louisville, they pounce on it. Ownby sprung, and in the end, it's good recovery and defending from Bjornathan, who makes up for his own mistake.
Ball played to the far post. Boscovich gets there. Referee sees a foul committed in. Free kick coming up for TFC2. It's been a long and trying season for TFC2, Terry, and a lot of it hasn't been of their own doing. A team without a home for the first game of the season, playing games in Rochester home matches. Extensive travels. Ryan Telford taken down. It's really tested the makeup of this very young team, and the hope is that they'll all be better off for it when they come out the other way.
Yeah, Tim Bezbachenko was talking about it. It normally takes for young academy players making the step up to the USL probably close to 40 games to really see what they're made out of and how they are going to develop. And I think the experience for the younger players will be important. Don't forget, a new managers come in halfway through the season. We take a look at Ryan Telfer, a real powerful run from him. Once he picks up a head of steam, he's really difficult to stop. Smith brings him down. You could just see the hand on his shoulder there.
So you have the right foot of Endo and the left foot of Telfer over the ball. Kello finds some space in the back post. Malik Johnson starting from an offside position. Endo tries to sneak it in the near post. Dombrowski not fooled.
Yeah, I think tries to be a little bit clever there. maybe he's been watching Victor Vasquez operate. I thought it was on to just angle that free kick towards that back post and just give the big men who come up from the back, Bjornathan, Boskovic, Matty Serbo, an opportunity, Noble Akello, to get their heads on it. When you're taking a free kick like that, though, that shows your confidence when you can go for the near post. And you know the big men that come up from the back hate that 40-yard back run back.
Ownby. Illich, the goal scorer. Good turn. Back out wide, Ownby. Closed down by Kubel. Ownby wanted a handball. Sort of the Louisville bench, not given, but another corner kick. They're starting to add up here.
I think it goes off the head of Kubel there, but a great turn from Illich in the middle of the park. I don't know whether he meant it, but Noble Akello gets really tight. I'm not sure he checked his shoulder, lays it off to Ownby, and Ownby just takes a second here to get that ball off.
Could have caught the arm. Referee says no. In swinging corner. It's a good one. Akello knocks it straight down. Ball still alive. Kubel. No doubt about that. Plays that deep. It's going to go all the way back to Dombrowski.
I think what's been a difficult year for TFC2, there has still been some good performances in their wheels. I think Dante Campbell's come on nicely.
Yes, he has.
Boskovic has taken his game to another level. I think he's shown a nice bit of consistency, more appearances for big Noble Akello in the middle of the park. And I think on his day, Matty Serbo is one of the best players in the league. I think he's got a nice profile, nice bit of awareness, and I think it's also given a nice platform for players like Beccaro to show what he can do.
Del Piccolo, among others, fired up about Kubel coming in from behind on Ownby. I think he made a little bit of a meal of it. I don't think that the reaction of Del Piccolo and other players are in line with the actual foul that was committed.
I'm surprised the referee took so long to take it. I think the players thought he missed it. It was about 5 minutes too late.
Well, let's see if we missed something here. We're going to take another look at the replay.
I think Ownby's just pulling the studs out of his shin there. Yeah, I think it's a late one. It's a little bit high. I think the frustration from Louisville was call the free kick. It's clearly a free kick. I don't think it was that bad.
Right.
But 100% it's a foul. I think the goalkeeper, Patterson Sewell, I think he can be proud of the season he's had. I think he's given the group a little bit of experience.
Dealt with some injuries, which was brought a level of frustration. Jimenez into the 18. Good ball. Well dealt with. Ball deflects up, and it is Patterson Sewell. Malik Johnson's out on the run. Difficult ball played there to Kubel. Closed down very quickly. TFC2 needs to understand that high pressure is coming anytime they play it short. Yeah, the front three of Louisville are doing a good job of stopping TFC2 from playing out of the back. I thought for a second there Patterson Sewell might have been an early ball over the top to Malik Johnson. Campbell. They're really well drilled, aren't they, Louisville? When one steps, there's backup right behind them. They're not just happy and content with pushing TFC2 back. They're like hounds. Once they sniff a little bit of blood and they feel like they can get that ball back. Winning pedigree, the 2017 USL champions. Serbo. What do you do if you're Toronto FC too? Do you try to keep and play at the same pace? Do you try to slow things down? What do you do to deal with this, Terry? Yeah, I think you need to test the back line of Louisville at the moment. Everything's been in front of them, and they're quite comfortable just waiting to pick off passes, waiting for a cue of a square pass or a bad touch. And at times, try to turn the two big center halves, get it in behind the fullbacks, Jimenez, and on the right-hand side, Smith. It's going to be key for Akello and Campbell. I mean, they have to show when those fullbacks get it, need to get the ball, then switch the play. Like when a team is pressuring that high and overcommitting, the spaces on the opposite side, it needs to come inside and back out the other way. Yeah, you can try and play through the press as well, or try to play around it, and it's a little bit difficult with how windy it is. It's not the best playing surface as well. It's not easy, as we touched on a little bit earlier, too. Mike Grabasco probably hasn't had a ton of time to work with this group of players, and
the relationships probably aren't quite the same as what they are for Louisville.
Brian Ownby, Illich, Bjornathan right there.
Lewis was in acres on that right-hand side, just needs to keep that ball going across the game channel.
Well, again, Bjornathan and Kubel are looking for options, no one's showing. And TFC 2 in trouble again. Here's Ownby, steps through the 18, crossover. Bjornathan recovers, comes, that looked like it came straight off his arm. Fortunate to say the least. TFC 2 have arguably got away with 2 times and handled the ball inside the area. Looked like he hit him right in the armpit.
Yeah, we're going to take another look at this. Great play from Ownby. TFC 2 tried to double team him, and I think the players get in each other's way. It was one step over too many. Here's the initial cutback attempt, and then on the second phase, if I'm being completely honest, I don't think that's a natural position. For me, it's probably a handball.
Endo sliding challenge comes through the player. So the referee's giving TFC 2 the benefit of the doubt. A little bit of home field advantage here at Lamport. It's kind of funny, we haven't seen a lot of that over the season, though.
I think that they were due one of those.
Yes.
The penalty in the last home game against Ottawa was a horrible decision against Reed.
Oh, sorry, Terry. Great touch of the ball by Spencer. Here's Lewis. Bjornathan to the rescue again. Bjornathan's been all over the field. The most active player wearing red. Great recovery. Back down the other way. It's Lewis again. Telfer's got to close this down. Who is all kinds of time. He's having a cup of tea out there.
Wouldn't mind a cup of tea right now.
Big-headed clear for Campbell. Endo, no time to even think on the ball.
A little bit of movement in front of him from Johnson or Serbal or Iowak, and way over on that other side of the pitch. You're never going to get the ball there, son.
Williams
just going back to Reed, who earned the penalty. Remember the aftermath? There was a little bit of a scuffle, and you said, oh, he could have been sent off for a hand round. I think it was the throw to Kubel. After the fact, he actually was suspended. So you got that one right, mate.
Twice a day, a clock gets the time right. So every now and again, even your old buddy Gareth Wheeler can get one right here and there. Boscovich. Just soared on Malik Johnson. It's been a frustrating 27 minutes here at Lamport Stadium. Illich with the goal, capitalizing on a mistake. It's 1-0 Louisville FC.
The other thing I'd say for TFC too is go put some pressure on Louisville. They're able to play that ball forward with too much time and ease. I think TFC 2 could maybe take a leaf out of the Louisville book and really put this backline under pressure when Louisville are in possession.
Bjornathan steps though, he's pulling back on Spencer. Referee says play on. Illich. Or sorry, Ownby that is. How can you miss him with that glorious beard? Sliding challenge, and Kubel plays it out of touch for yet another Louisville City corner kick.
It's not always pretty from Big Spencer up top, but he works his socks off and he finds a way to hold that ball up. He earns fouls and stepping all over the toes of Bjornathan, but he's been a real handful, and I think he's just enjoying the opportunity to play. A lot of firepower on the bench for Louisville with Davis, Lancaster.
Good ball near post. Boscovich flicks that on. Telfer, can he get there? Yes, he does. And look out. We got a race. Good touch on the ball. I mean, Lewis is making some noise about that. He did well. They're in the possession. Just get on with it.
He's not played a whole bunch of football this year, but good to see Lewis, who's just come into the side today for Davis, who's probably the best right winger in the league, tracking back, working hard for the club.
Well, it's been that kind of night for TFC 2. Campbell straight out of touch for another throw. TFC 2 just needs to saddle. Everything's so manic. It just, everything looks out of control. Take a breath. Get the ball under control here. Kubel.
Good run from Malik Johnson after winning that free kick.
Kello. Bjornathan, step to it, make a decision. Boscovich. Tsubasa Endo tracking way back. Team's top goal scorer.
Need to find one of those midfielders facing forward like this.
Good ball, Johnson, Kubel. Akinola making a run inside the area. Can he find him? Picks him out, ball runs, almost gets to Endo. better from TFC2.
Yeah,
Kello.
great ball from between the lines, which started the attack off from Kello.
Steps in, too committed. So you let the ball drop.
He's a little bit like a young Danny Dicchio up there.
He is.
Maybe a bit more pace, but hope he's listening. Danny Dicchio, the first ever goal scorer for TFC. Now works in the academy coach.
Spencer's got the same haircut as Deach as well. Follically challenged, is that what they call it?
A little bit big, Spencer. I might keep my comment to myself.
Jimenez, well done. Big challenge by Akello.
Better last block of maybe 10 minutes for TFC2. Just coming into the game a little bit. That press from Louisville, not quite as aggressive. And I think if TFC are able to pick a couple of passes through that initial press, they might have a little bit of joy. All of a sudden, there's some runs in behind the Louisville defense, which is stretching them a little bit.
Jimenez. Great ball. Bjornathan does very well to stick with it.
Yeah, excellent header from Bjornathan. He's only 5'10", playing at center half, but he moves his feet really well.
More naturally a fullback, isn't he? Standing in at center back here tonight. We've seen him play right back. We've seen him play left back on the year.
Yeah, with injuries to Rocco Romeo, Julian Dunn. He's had to come in at center half and very comfortable in possession. He's not been able to show that tonight. He's been putting fires out.
Kello to Akinola. Endo. Ball's got to be better.
Just a little bit sloppy. It was a great ball from Kello again. He easily could have gone out to his left back, Telfer there. Plays a nice little ball around the corner for Ayo Akinola. And remember early on where he turned and really attacked the back four? I thought that was on there. It's a bit safe to just play across the pitch.
Suai to Illich. Lewis. Good battle going on down this TFC2 left-hand side. Lewis cuts inside. Boskovic read it well and out of touch for a TFC2, well, Louisville City, I should say, throw. Del Piccolo, well read, Telfer. Good touch. Endo. Great ball left to right. Johnson, some space. Kubel overlapping. Johnson takes it himself, skips off Jimenez, and Lumberwolski touches it clear for another TFC2 corner kick. Great ball by Subasa Endo.
Yeah.
Perfectly weighted, Terry.
Beautiful diagonal. Malik Johnson really wants to be taking this on the run. Great technique from him. I thought Tim Kubel could have just stayed away from it. You want Malik Johnson isolated 1v1. I thought Jimenez did a good job of just delaying, not allowing Johnson to really get ahead of steam up.
Telfer, local product. In-swinging corner. Boskovic. Oh. Actually, Matty Serbel was on the ball and just couldn't get his head around it, and out of touch for a goal kick. Your thoughts on that in a moment, Terry, but I want to remind our viewers, get the best photography from around the league, plus highlights and updates throughout the week on the USL's official Instagram feed by following us at instagram.com/USL Soccer.
Yeah, just going back to that corner kick, I thought Matty Serbel just tried to do a little bit too much with that. Just needed to make good contact. There was tons of pace on the corner kick from Ryan Telfer and just glance it towards net.
Terry doesn't have Instagram. Let's not ask why. He's got a face for print. Ombi. Quick touch. Lewis on the turn. Turns Boskovic. Big Bosco stays with him. Kubel clear.
Good awareness from Malik Johnson to just turn Jimenez there.
Oh, Johnson taken down by Del Piccolo, no doubt about it. I mean, he's been surly tonight. I'm not sure if he had a bad lunch date or woke up on the wrong side of the bed, he's been mixing it up all match long, and the captain for Louisville City goes into the book.
Yeah, I think it's a professional foul for him. It's smart from DePiccolo just to break that counterattack up. It was a great turn initially from Malik Johnson to turn away from him, and as all of a sudden he's got a nice change of pace ahead of steam and almost a hatchet tackle from Del Piccolo. Easy yellow card to give out.
If it's a professional foul, you generally do it face up on a player, you pull him back, leaving that foot in on a player that's already past you. A little bit of the dark arts right there.
It's no surprise as TFC2 have started to come into the game that Malik Johnson's starting to get on the ball a little bit.
Endo. Good touch. Big clearance.
Io Akinola just dangling a little leg in there. I think he's got to do a better job of just getting body, just getting positioning on the French center half.
Del Piccolo was among a group of players, a trio that took over the reins for, what was it, 3 or 4 games while James O'Connor left. He was on his way out to Orlando, and John Hackworth came in.
Yeah, Big Spencer was giving him a hand as well. Who also does some operation stuff at Xavier College. John Hackworth comes in with tons of experience, only the second coach of Louisville. Came in from the U.S. men's U17 national team job, given a contract till 2022, so lots of confidence in him from the organization.
Good touch, Serbal to Kubel.
He's got a real winning record.
Yes.
Thought he did a good job with the Union, with not great resources compared to some of the other MLS clubs. Always in and around that playoff sort of line, competing to get in there. And I think his role is not only to come to Louisville and win games, but I think when you sign a player who, a manager, sorry, that from a U.S. national team set up like that, you've got a coach in that's going to come in and develop players as well.
A great club, a model club here in USL Soccer. Here's Johnson on Jimenez, good turn. Campbell, he's got a man to his left, takes it himself, deflection, and Dumbrowolski takes it. You almost want to keep that ball going to the left-hand side, Terry.
Possibly. I'm not sure where Dante Campbell learned that Cruyff from. I was a little bit surprised. Nice bit of technique from him. Looks as though he's going to go out wide just with his left foot, Cruyff's, and the real Dante Campbell then did stand up with a little bit of a pea shooter, but he's a player I like. He's come through TFC's academy. He's not the prettiest on the eye at times with some of his technique, but he's a player that always gives 100%, trains hard, very good at breaking up play, real competitor. The type of player that's missed sometimes when he's not in the team a little bit. Versatile, can play fullback as well.
Well, it's not called the Cruyff. It's really, as being a Welshman, it is the Hal Robson Canu. Let's be honest about this.
Here we see another Cruyff here from Malik Johnson. Looked as though he's going to go to the byline and just cuts inside Jimenez.
Hal Robson Canu had
Thought you were going to go with
Euro 2016, doing in Belgium in the quarterfinals.
Ramsey. Aaron Ramsey.
No. Big Sammy Vokes, is that who? Lewis.
Almiron, speaking of Ramsey and Arsenal, linked to Arsenal heavily this week.
Arsenal in a good run of form, 8 wins in a row in all competitions. Under Unai Emery. Things are a little chippy out there right now, Terry.
Yeah, I think it's a nice little spell for TFC too. The wide players, Endo and Malik Johnson, have found a way to get into the game, and I think it's just tucking inside, not playing quite as wide, just picking the ball up either side of the two holding midfielders, DePiccolo and Williams.
Well, the referee is going to show Io Akinola a card. Del Piccolo went down. Love to get another look at this. Looked like the player went down perhaps a little bit premature. Akinola doesn't like it. The referee, there was no doubt from Lozère. He comes over, brandishes the caution here in the right on 38 minutes. What'd you see here, Terry?
Yeah, I think it's a little bit of a frustrated tackle. Akinola originally loses the ball, and it's 100% a foul and a little bit of a striker's challenge from him. And I'm not too sure what he's arguing about. I don't think it warranted a yellow card, though.
It was more clumsy than anything else.
Striker's challenge.
Yes.
And it's great to see him when he loses the ball go back and repress, but he gives the ball away in a bad area. Wins right behind Jimenez, who's showing off right now, taking free kicks with both feet.
Jimenez, far post, knocked straight down, and Patterson Sewell not taking any chances as Paco Craig was right there waiting.
Yeah. Leader from the back, he hits a great diagonal. Now we're seeing the force from Craig just on set pieces. Watch his right arm here. He does a great job of holding off Kubel at the back post. He's right in line with it. I think he'll be disappointed with that header. He heads it into the ground and the turf takes any pace out of that header.
Oh, and there's a goal. You knew it was going to come. The service is being sublime by Jimenez, and Louisville City doubles their lead here in the 40th minute. The corner kick's adding up, and so have the chances, and it's Louisville City 2 and TFC 2, no score.
Yeah, I don't. It was a great set piece. It was flat. I don't think Patterson Sewell can come for this. And the big French center half, Sowahi, gets a free run at it, and he's not going to miss from 2 yards out. Just guides it towards goal. TFC just before that had gotten away with one at the back post where Craig really should have scored, but another great ball from Jimenez. And I think Michael Rabasco will be disappointed, Wheels, because initially it all comes from a silly free kick from Akinola after some poor hold-up play.
This corner kick after corner kick, and Jimenez, that's picture-perfect service, Terry, because that near-post run, I mean, Suwali didn't even need to break his stride, just guide that past Patterson Sewell. And I think Jimenez, his service is just such a weapon for this side.
Yeah, and you've got the wind behind you, so everything's in-swinging into that 6-yard box. And the fact that there was so much pace on it, it was flat. I don't think Patterson Sewell could have come for it. Some nice interplay here, too. Combination play from
Lewis offside. Offside.
Good play from Boskovic. I think a couple years ago or last season even, he might have tried to track that run. He just lets the front man from Louisville run offside. But
TFC 2 here is getting bullied a little bit at the back. Just the size differences, the physicality in these players. TFC 2, it's a team chock full of teenagers, and I think that they're just being manhandled a little bit. The aggression, the pace, the press of Louisville just hasn't let the team in red get their foot on the ball at all here tonight.
Yeah, I thought for the last 15 minutes it was actually the best spell of the game for TFC 2, but what I would say to the players is don't give Louisville ample opportunities to put that ball into the box. Don't concede unnecessary free kicks. And if you look at this TFC 2 side, it's not the biggest size. The only players you've got over 6 foot are Boskovic, Noble Akello, Matty Serbel, but I don't think he really wants to come back and defend set pieces.
So the home side's up against it. Smith comes to the back of Endo. Lewis stepping to the ball. TFC 2 goes short. Almost just want to play it off his foot. Like, no need.
Yeah, it's an interesting one. I don't like that body language from Ayo Akinola, who's wanted the fullback a little bit deeper there. But does Ayo really want to receive the ball there? When you're receiving the ball from back to goal, there's 7 players in between you and the goal you've got to get through, and you're going the wrong way.
You knew that Louisville wanted to come out and make a statement here tonight. Did not sit well, losing at home the way they did against TFC 2, and been very good on this night. Championship credentials, Terry. I mean, FC Cincinnati, a very good team. Louisville's right in the mix.
Yeah, they've got a big game coming up against North Carolina on Tuesday, where they've rested a couple of players so far, Davis, Lancaster. So some more quality to even come into the mix, and it looks as though players right now are playing for places and almost treating today against TFC 2 as almost like a playoff game.
Yeah, well,
the form's great, been good as well, coming off of 3 wins. Last game, a big win over Atlanta 2.
Exactly, had a bit of a dip in form, but really come back very strong here in recent weeks. Watch highlights from every game of the 2018 season and stay up to date with the news from across the USL at the league's official Facebook page, facebook.com/USL Soccer. Gareth Wheeler, Terry Dunfield with you. Goals from Illich and Suwali have given the visiting Louisville City FC a 2-0 lead. At Wheeler TSN, at Terry_Dunfield.
See another bad giveaway there from Boskovic. Lewis.
Spencer beats it to him, and the wind playing tricks on some of these players.
It's a foul. Referees missed that one. Goal scorer. Just a little bit of a push on the back of Iowakanola. Again, it's a little bit of inexperience from him. As soon as you feel that push go over. Now all of a sudden TFC are having to defend another long diagonal. That Louisville love that ball in behind the fullbacks.
Didn't catch who the player was right when the goal was scored. I wasn't sure if it was Suwali on the ball or not, but I had a great goal call all lined up for him. Alexis on fire, Suwali with the goal.
Right.
And
could have saved it. There's still another 45 minutes to go.
I don't think he's going to score here. If he does, play that back. I don't even need to say it, just put it on a loop. Akinola, Endo making that run, just misses him.
Suwai and Craig, they've got a nice partnership at the back. I think Suwai's the player who covers a little bit more, has a little bit more pace. Big Craig's the player that attacks things.
Fourth official David Barry puts up signals 1 minute of time added on. Carry on your thought.
I'm just sort of saying, I like the center half pairing of Louisville. Also, DePiccolo and Williams in front of them. They provide a nice sort of screen. It's really difficult to break down that box in the middle of the field of Louisville. I think where you can get a little bit of joy, where TFC have done well, is in that inside channel, trying to get Malik Johnson on the ball, Spasa Endo. I think once you go wide here on this playing surface in these conditions, even if you get Endo or Malik Johnson or Kubel or Ryan Telfer on the ball, I still think that Louisville are able to get in behind it, readjust, and get density on either side.
Yep.
Well, it's been that kind of half for TFC too. A lot of frustration. And that's the end of the first 45 minutes of play. Illich, he gets his 11th of the season, courtesy of some poor TFC due to defending and a mistake at the back. The second goal coming the 40th minute. Suwali gets it off a corner kick. Terry, your thoughts on the first half of play?
Yeah, I thought Louisville all game have been so far very dangerous on set pieces. I think TFC too have to stop giving away needless free kicks. The first goal will be disappointing because it comes from on the back of a couple of errors, a ball that wasn't clear, and in the end it's a deflected goal. It goes in off of Boskovic, but Illich, he's done a good job just picking up bits as that false number 9. TFC too had a nice spell in that middle of the half, but really weren't able to create a whole bunch of opportunities.
The pictures of how it played out are coming up next on our halftime show, and we'll spin you around USL Soccer as well. A big first half of play for the visiting Louisville City FC. They lead Toronto FC 2, and they're 2 goals to the good. You're watching on USLsoccer.com and ESPN+. What? The great support of Louisville City FC. Well, they're in attendance here tonight. 9.5-hour drive due north, and they're going to like what they've seen thus far. It's the visiting side, too, in TFC 2. No score. Gareth Wheeler alongside former Canadian international Terry Dunfield. Pleased to have you with us here on a chilly night in Toronto, Ontario, Canada. And look, Louisville, the home of the Kentucky Derby, and it's like the horses are on show. They're on parade, aren't they? Because quite frankly, Louisville City FC overrunning TFC 2 through 45 minutes, Terry.
Yeah, they come into the game on the back of 3 wins, and their form's been excellent so far. And you can see why they're second in the Eastern Conference. They're a big, strong, physical team. They're well drilled going forward and also defensively. They press extremely high. Their 2 wide players, Lewis and Omby, have had tons of quality in those channels. At times they're a little bit direct, but it seems as though they're first to all second balls.
And this is the first goal of the game, just a poor decision, headed back the wrong way by Campbell. Illich, the big serve up front, his 11th goal of the season.
Yeah, the goalkeeper, Patterson, was a little bit unlucky. Big Boscovich tries to come over, and it takes a wicked deflection, but Illich has done a great job, just as that false number 9, picking up balls, and at times shown a little bit of quality.
It's been a lot of this, Terry, the high press coming in waves. Williams from difference. The wind is howling out here tonight. Great strike, just hung up on him a little.
TFC 2 are just struggling to find ways to play through that press, and at times get Io Akinola involved and Matty Servo.
That's what they need to do, switch a play right there. Find the soft spot. It's really on the offside. They're just having a difficult time getting it there.
Yeah, as the half went on, I thought Sabasa Endo and Malik Johnson started to come into the game. This is a header Matty Servo would like back. Great ball in from Ryan Telfer. But almost against the run of the play on the corner kick, the big French center half steps forward, and the quality from Jimenez has been different class on dead balls.
Alexis on fire. Suawi with the goal. Coming off one of the many corner kick set pieces from Louisville in the first half of play. So a mountain to climb in TFC 2's final home match of the season. All bundled up here in Toronto. 45 minutes to go. We'll spin you around the league next, right here on USLsoccer.com and, of course, ESPN+. Welcome back inside Lamport Stadium in downtown Toronto. Louisville FC, well, they have their eyes on second place in the Eastern Conference, and so far so good. A 2-goal lead at halftime. Gareth Wheeler and Terry Dunfield with you. Some midweek action across USL Soccer. It's really crunch time in the league. Who's going to be finished where in terms of the playoff picture? Penn State, well, they tie Charlotte 2-2. Atlanta and Tampa. More news on the Tampa Bay Rowdies in a few moments' time. A 1-1 final. Salt Lake City, they get past Oklahoma City by a score of 2-1. Other scores across the league this week, 30. We're already there. Reno, a big 2-0 away win. Seattle, they pick up a point against Los Angeles. And Sacramento, they're playoff bound, third place in the Western Conference with a 3-1 win over the Swope Park Rangers, currently sitting in 7th place in the West. Some news and notes across USL Soccer. The Tampa Bay Rowdies have been bought by the Tampa Bay Rays. Shout out to Bill Edwards, who showed an extreme commitment to that organization, was owner since 2013, changing hands. I think both need a new stadium, perhaps some reconstruction and a continual build by the Tampa Bay Rays ownership. Now Tampa Bay Rowdies can be very great for that organization.
Yeah, the Rowdies have been around since 1975, and I think this will give the club a nice lift at the right time. They're just 3 points out of the playoffs with 2 games to play.
El Paso has revealed their branding, the El Paso Locomotive FC. Do you like the name, Terry? Choo Choo.
I love it, and the logo and name symbolizes the identity of the club, and that's going to be raw power. It's quite interesting too. The first signing of this club was actually the first overall draft pick when I used to play for the Vancouver Whitecaps back in 2011. Do you know who that is?
I can't remember.
Omar Salgado.
Right.
From El Paso.
Well, if it's the locomotive, then you can call Salgado the conductor. All aboard. And speaking about all aboard, USL surpassed 2.5 million in attendance this year.
Incredible. Not only is this league growing on the pitch, but also off of it.
The rebrand in USL, very prominent as well. Different tiers, different divisions. It's going to be an exciting year in 2019 as we look ahead. The USL Championship, USL League One, and USL League Two providing a clear pathway through USL Soccer. So big games, big moments, and big branding on the horizon for the league. We're hoping that a big second half is underway. Look at that. Bundled up here in Toronto. Yeah, full football indeed. Back with second half action next.
Johnson! Johnson! You've got to be kidding me! Shot ripped in! Alex Mendoza! Goal! And the other! Sunday the other way! Oh, what a goal! And what a world-class goal that
Must see TV.
Here are the upcoming matches for Toronto FC 2. Just 2 more to go. They're back on the road to take on Nashville and Penn FC. Louisville, 2 more games remaining on their season as well, and home sweet home is ahead for them as they push towards their playoff schedule. Gareth Wheeler alongside Terry Dunfield with you. Team just coming back on the field for second half action. Will we see Jacob Faria in the second half? Perhaps. We'll see if any or either changes are made. Quite clearly, Terry, things need to change for TFC2 here in the second half of play. How would that team talk gone inside the room for Michael Rabaska?
I think he needs more from his players. I think the players need to go out and compete in this second half. At times, if I'm being completely honest, it looked like men against boys. Start winning some of those second balls. Start being brave in possession as well, trying to play through that press. And I think if they can sort of play that initial pass through the pressure, and they'll have a little bit of joy, start to find players in midfield facing forward.
Illich and Suawi with the goals for Louisville City. I mean, so far so good. John Hackworth is going to be thrilled how his team's performed, especially considering he's rested some key players here tonight. Yeah,
and the other thing I'd say for TFC2 is at times they've played like individuals. Try to play a little bit more collectively and try to a little bit more up front from Iowa Akinola. Needs a little bit of a presence up there. At times he's drifted in and out of the game.
So it's going to be Toronto FC 2 going from right to left on your screen, Louisville City from left to right, and we're underway, back underway here at Lamport Stadium in downtown Toronto. Toronto FC 2's last final home game of the 2018 season. Kello gets on the ball. Doesn't look like any changes for either side here through 45.
Sometimes it's nice too when you've not had a great first half that the manager gives you an opportunity to go out and put things right. The other thing I'd say for a lot of these TFC2 players, they're playing for contracts, they're playing for their future, they're playing to say, hey, look, I should be here next season.
Serbal finds Endo. Need to get this man on the ball much more. Good defending. Endo forced way right. Kubel inside the 18. It's Craig heading it half clearance. Endo touch. Serbal knocks that down and didn't make great connection, but much better from TFC2.
Didn't really sit for him nicely on that turf. It was a nice play from TFC to play that ball across the middle of the park. Good play from Sabasa Endo. Eventually finds its way to Kubel. Endo here at the probably on the second phase here tries to set Matty Serbal. It wasn't the best of sets, and he almost hacks his way at it.
Campbell. Johnson. Showing a touch of pace. Campbell closed down quickly. I mean, that's the story of the match. Louisville relentless in terms of pressure on the ball. Brian Ownby beats Bjornathan to it. Campbell checking back defensively. Ball just hangs up, not a very good ball. Nendo a chance to go the other way. Serbal, Akinola's got some space. He's to stay on side. He does. Oh, just lines crossed with Serbal.
Yeah.
Serbal not a natural striker, Terry, just didn't finish his run.
Yeah, I didn't think the run from Akinola was great. He just stalls a little bit and then he receives it stood still, which allows Louisville to drop back, and I don't think it really was on to give that ball back to Matty Serbal. I think there you we spoke about them being brave and winning second balls and winning battles possibly in midfield and playing through a press, but sometimes be brave in possession. And I thought Io Akinola was 1v1 and really get at Smith there.
Keller was muscled off the ball by Spencer, and Campbell, you saw him pleading his case. Thought he got the ball clean. Was that the case, Terry?
Yeah, big Spencer. He's all arms and limbs, and I think the fact that it was from behind and two-footed is why the referee's given it. I think maybe 4 or 5 years ago that's not a foul, but in today's day and age, I think it's a free kick.
So like Tom Cruise and Top Gun were in the danger zone here, about 25 yards out. You know, Oscar Jimenez is there. The Piccolo's over the ball.
I've been giving him a little bit of a hard time taking set pieces from both feet, but when the quality's this good, go ahead, lad, take it however you want.
The wall's finally to the referee's liking.
This will be a tough one. It's right into the wind as well.
It is swirling. Jimenez floats on him, no problem for Patterson Sewell. You could hear it, you can catch it off our microphone. I mean, it's the wind blowing off the lake. It was actually very mild here just yesterday in the Toronto area. Just cold weather's blown in. It's just much different conditions tonight. A lot of rain this week as well. Obviously doesn't affect the conditions here on the artificial turf of Lamport. BMO Field, where Toronto FC plays tomorrow against the Vancouver Whitecaps, a little bit different story. Patterson Sewell. Canola gets away with a little bit of a push-off. Good recovery by Smith. Good test here for Akinola.
Yeah, that's good from Akinola. He turns a nothing ball into something.
Endo's been a star performer. 3 goals, all from outside the area against FC Cincinnati. Serbal.
3 goals of the week, really.
Yes.
The left footer that flew into the top corner was something else, the first one.
Kubel, far post.
I think Kubel with that delivery, it's great that he's putting balls into the box, but that's bread and butter for 2 center halves of Louisville. You need to be a little bit creative, a little bit sexy with that build.
Poor ball by Campbell. Good work though, you like that, just getting back. No, you didn't play a good pass, come back and get it.
Yeah, a couple times his passing's been found wanting a little bit.
Woo. Olay through Del Piccolo's legs.
But great reaction to get back. Here's a nice 1v1.
Johnson. Jimenez gets his foot stuck in, and here we go. A chance for TFC2. Corner kick coming up. Do go short, just considering, Terry, the size of this Louisville team. And you're going to take another look at a nice piece of work here by Akinola through the wickets of Del Piccolo. Hello.
Nice.
Might want to keep the door shut.
From him.
Ball inside the 18. Boscovich was there, but well done by Dombrowski getting up to take.
Yeah, good brave goalkeeping from Dombrowski. Comes through the line, comes through the big trees of Louisville to go and claim that. I don't mind putting balls into the box. I thought TFC had a good opportunity in the first half from an in-swigger from Ryan Telfer that Matty Serbal could have done a little bit better with.
Hey, Terry, didn't know if you heard, kind of addressed it at halftime. The USL made history this past weekend as the league passed 2.5 million in total attendance for the 2018 season. Thank you to all the fans and great supporters who have made this the highest attended lower division season in North American soccer history. Wheeler and Dunfield with you. Illich and Suawi with the goals. The visitors up 2-0. Serbal. Kubel. Good ball inside the 18. Well done by the goal scorer, Alexis Suawi.
I thought it just opened up a little bit for Serbo with the wind behind you now for TFC2. He could have possibly shot from distance there. I think that ball just out wide to the fullbacks and deep crosses aren't really going to hurt or penetrate Louisville's back line.
Serbal gets stuck in, but it looks like he came out second best, grabbing for his calf and his ankle. We'll monitor that situation for you. Looks like he's running it off. Smith. Good pressure by Endo. TFC2 needs to bring the ball down this left-hand side, challenge Smith a little bit more. A lot of it's being play of the game that is being played down the TFC2 right side and Louisville left. Maybe when you have two players who've been established contributors in the first team like Telfer and Endo, that's where you want the build to come from, don't you?
Yeah, on paper, this left-hand side I think would be good. You've got really a winger playing at left back. We've saw a couple signs of it in the first half. Ryan Telfer's very good at driving forward with that ball. I think anytime Endo gets it, Ryan Telfer should be thinking, right, how can I get round Endo and look to overlap him? Endo likes to cut inside on his right foot as well, but I think Smith's done a very good job of defending it, and at times Williams comes over and gives him a bit of protection.
Ownby. Good ball inside the box, well read by Boskovic. Steps past Illich.
Mr. Cool there, just coming through a couple players after he intervenes.
Johnson, that's how you beat the high pressure.
Other side.
Spins off Timonez. This is the switch that you need. Great ball to Endo. One-on-one situation. Goes far post. Oh, he had Serbo on the return.
Craig does really well there to intervene. If he doesn't step there, Matty Serbal's in. Good positive defending from Smith, the fullback here. Gets right into the face of Endo. A lot of fullbacks there just drop, delay. Real brave defending from the right back. I like that.
Akinola. Much better starter to the second half here for TFC2. Ownby gets stuck in. Johnson goes down. No call given. Spencer. It's a big boy, Luke Spencer. Ownby. Boskovic, can he stick with them? Ball's overcooked. Comes out the other way for a TFC2 throw.
He's a real two-way player, Ownby. He's not afraid to track back and defend, and he's found himself in some great areas. He was a little bit unlucky in the first half to not win a penalty off Bjornathan again. He likes that right step over and then getting to the byline. Just lacked a little bit of quality there.
Options on the TFC2 bench tonight. Singh, Daniels, Faria. Called him Jordan Faria, Sean Hundle, and Peruzza. Anyone fit the bill, Terry, to be a contributor here?
I think Peruzza, yeah, he's a young Canadian that spent time over in Italy. He's come back and he's been with TFC for 3 months. He's played a little bit for TFC3. I think he's a little bit of a target man. He's got good technique. He could give you a little bit of a different look. Player that possibly could hold that ball up.
On the bench for Louisville, Tosh, McCabe, Francis, Lancaster, Ballard, Davis IV. If he comes on tonight, 200th appearance.
I think that's the first player would be to hit 200 in USL.
Well, everything remained calm there despite the ball bouncing.
It really did, didn't it?
6-yard box.
Just broke up my thought. Probably didn't deserve Davis got the respect he deserved.
Well, 200, that's a lot of games. It's never mind the Century Club. When you get 2 Century Clubs, I mean, they start naming training pitches after you, don't they?
Is that why it's going to be, will be Davis the fifth then?
I think it's Davis the fourth. Davis the fifth will be the pitch.
All right. No, he's a quality player, and his numbers and output every single year is pretty consistent. Quality player. Looking at the schematics of how Louisville attack, a lot goes through that right-hand side. Nice step from Nova Kello.
Much better. Is there a Terry Dunfield field anywhere? All you need to do is call it the Terry Dunn Field. I hear the quality is rubbish. The quality of the,
I was going to say it's probably a cow patch.
Serbo, good turn, and Dobrowolski really took care of that ball, very properly positioned.
Yeah, if we take another look at this one, you're never going to criticize a player for shooting. He rolls inside nicely and strikes it with his left foot, but just watch this inside run from Sabasa Endo. Cutback might have been on here if he sees it.
Yes, good shout.
Dunfield. How have I never thought of that?
We got to make that happen.
I hear naming rights for stadiums are going for big money, so.
Good pressure by Akinola and Endo, and Suawi. A little bit of a desperate move as Akinola finally put some pressure. This is what TFC2 needs to do. This is what you were shouting for the first half of play. Put some pressure on the back line. Much better. Boskovic lets it run. Well done by Big Bosco.
Boskovic, he was excellent against Charleston.
And a man of the match performance.
Yeah, probably one of his
against
best
Ottawa as well.
Probably one of his best performances ever for TFC2.
Endo. Kello, man on. Campbell just picks the wrong pass again.
Kello and
good job though, again making sure he makes the effort to win that ball back.
I think just his angles and the spacing's not quite right with him and Kello. It was a little bit flat there.
Endo, that ball comes off the backside of Suawi and out for a TFC2 corner kick. Telfer wants to get back on this. I want to talk a little bit more Campbell in a moment's time, but first, the TFC2 corner kick.
Sometimes Sebastian Endo, the only knock I'll have on him is he's got great quality technique, two-footed player. Sometimes he's just on the peripheral of the play there. I would have loved to seen him. Great corner. I would have loved to see him drive into the heart of Louisville and try to commit a defender and take that ball where exactly where that pressure is. Make that, try to suck out maybe one of the center halves rather than just sort of shooting from distance there.
It was very good service that time around. Dombrowski not taking any chances, touching that over for another corner. Telfer now, in-swinger coming. The wind has just died down for a moment. Frustrating, just not being able to get it over the first defender.
Sir Alex Ferguson used to say 10% of your wages.
Yes.
If you don't hit that, get it over that near post man.
Perhaps that's why it drives me though. Drives me crazy as well. One of my heroes in life, the great Sir Alex Ferguson.
You've got big Nova Kello. I know he's probably one of your biggest threats. He could change the light bulbs here. The pitch is that tall. Just stick it on his head.
Endo. Good ball. Kello touches off of Akinola, far post. Telfer got there. Ball deflects up. Best spell of the match here. 10-15 minutes for TFC2. Really come out a different group here in the second half.
Yeah, nice block at the back post from the front man.
Great
Lewis.
Ball. Sorry, Terry, and Paco Craig takes care of that again.
They're really well drilled, Louisville, aren't they? Every player knows what's required of them in different situations.
Bjornathan, long ball. Endo just can't run that down.
But not very often do you see your winger throwing their body on the line like that. Just take a look at the corner kick here. It was a nice flick right in the middle of the 6-yard box from Nova Kello, and I think it finds its way to Kubel at the back post.
It was Telfer.
Or Telfer, sorry, and nice block from Lewis.
Good ball by Endo to Akinola in behind the back line. On one-on-one, Suawi gets the shot attempt off, and Dombrowski's best stop of the match. Great ball, Endo to Akinola.
Good play from Akinola. Gets in behind, and he hasn't had a ton of joy, and it's probably his best chance of the game, and comes inside. Just smashes it. Could have you passed it into the far corner
Maybe,
there?
Yeah. That's what I was going to say. Maybe not go near post. Try to go to the far post, especially on your right foot.
Yeah.
Natural bend of the ball. Sees it to the back of the net.
He brought out his driver there. He did really well to come inside, and the cover wasn't quite there for one of the few times from Louisville. And almost like Thierry Henry, just pass it into that far post. I like how you said it. It was a great through ball from Sebastian Endo right into the path of Io Akinola. Looks to come inside the French center half. He just tries to smash it to the near post, as you said, Wheels. Here's a better look.
Far post.
Yeah, almost just
Perhaps
pass
the
it.
defender coming in maybe affected the decision.
Yeah, good shout, but I think his legs were just a little bit open, Craig, there.
Assistant coach Chris Posniak barking instructions. Ball flicked up, Patterson Sewell right there to punch that clear corner kick. We'll see what changes in the works for TFC2 as Jimenez goes out to take yet another corner kick for Louisville City.
Sunwahi, it was a good header from him. A little bit like Chicharito, where he scored just facing the wrong way.
Chicharito or Chicharito?
Chicharito, I said. That was a bit aggressive, wasn't it? Just that backwards header technique. Good save for Patterson Sewell.
Oh,
no.
big header near post. No foul there. Incredible. I thought Boscovich was simply stepped on.
Chicharito.
It's like Chicharito. Anyways.
We'll move on.
Javier
Probably for my
Hernandez
sake.
says that.
That was an incredible backflip goal. Remember that one?
Oh, good touch. Malik Johnson, Serbal. He's got two options. Goes near post. No, wrong option. Akinola was making space for Endo coming in behind. It's just that little bit of cutting edge in the attacking third, Terry, betraying TFC2.
I think they just needed to let that attack develop
Yes.
a little bit of patience there. Matty Serbal, I can see what he was thinking, get that ball in behind the two center halves early, but I don't think Akinola was ever getting there.
TFC2 really growing into this game. Campbell, far post. Knocked across, Akinola was there, and Dobrowolski quick off his line. Much better. TFC2 have like come out of the room a different side, and that's what you want to see if you're the coaching staff of this group.
Yeah, they're really starting to put consistent attacks together, and I think some of the passing's been excellent. Almost playing through the press of Louisville now, and with all these sort of half chances they're starting to create, it's important when you're on top like this that you take one of these chances.
I mean, halftime it was all Louisville City. Now possession is, the visitors now just at 52%.
And sometimes it's tougher when you're on top like Louisville. 2-0 is a tricky scoreline. You come out, you think you're going to cruise it.
I always hear that. I always laugh about that. 2-0 is the most dangerous scoreline. Actually, 1-0 is a little bit more dangerous because you only got one goal.
It's a tricky scoreline, I'd say.
Sure it is.
And sometimes I'm not saying they were going through the motions by any means, but you're cruising with three of your best attacking players on the bench, and all of a sudden when things aren't going well, it's hard to all of a sudden change that mindset.
Well, you called it. Lancaster, he's geared up. He's going to be coming to the game in a few moments' time, as is George Davis IV, and he will make it official. 200 appearances. Giveaway in the middle of the park by Campbell. Kubel swing and a miss. Perhaps needed a different Louisville slugger to make connection with that.
Yeah, I thought, again, it just opened up a little bit there after a bit of luck, fortunate luck for Dante Campbell. Maybe have a shot from distance there. The two center halves were just starting to sag and drop.
Endo.
See, again, he just runs away from the contact and pressure there. He received it in between the lines in a great spot. Can you try and turn in there and body? When you sort of run away from that pressure, it allows Louisville to reset.
Dangerous ball. Bjornathan executed that well. Spencer, just a bull. Bailed out.
Yeah, you don't want to lose it there, Boscovich. He's almost run himself into the ground, Big Spencer. I think he's been excellent tonight.
That looks to be one of the potential changes here for John Hackworth. Jimenez gets that one all wrong. The rare times you can say that. Johnson. Good turn. Jonathan in support. Switch of play. Endo can't bring that down, and a chance for the substitutions to be made. Will they be made? Little slow getting the changes to the fourth official. David Barry's going to have a good read, and the play will continue on. So we'll have to wait for history to be made for at least another few moments. Ombi. Del Piccolo through the middle of the park.
Nice little drag back from him. Illich needed to keep that going wide to Lewis.
Is that Noble Akello or Dante Campbell going into the book?
I think it's Akello. He was just a little bit erect with his defending. Needed to get a little bit lower. Big man.
Here's the substitutions being made, and you're right, he did run himself into the ground. Luke Spencer coming out of the match for Louisville City. And the top goal scorer, 21 goals on the season, in Cameron Lancaster during the match. And the other substitution being made, and here he is, Lewis coming off the park. And a little bit of history right here. George Davis IV coming on to make his 200th USL regular season appearance. He is the first player to reach that mark in the league's modern era. Congratulations to George Davis IV, 200th appearance here in USL.
Big congrats to him. He's had a good season as well, 8 goals and a couple of assists. Gives you real quality in these wide areas. It looks as though Illich might play on the right, and maybe Davis IV might play as a 10 just underneath Lancaster. Lancaster just a pure goal scorer. Scores all types of goals in the box. Good with both feet, good in the air. Just takes set pieces in and around the box. Penalties.
TFC 2 getting set to make 2 corresponding changes as well as Aiden Daniels. And
good move stateside for Lancaster. He was...
Sorry, Jordan Peruzza about to come in as well.
Just sort of saying he was toiling in the lower leagues in England. Had the opportunity to come out here and really made a career for himself in Louisville.
Tim Kubel coming off, so right back for, well, we'll see where Aiden Daniels will play. He's more of an attacking midfield player. And Malik Johnson's nights over as well as Jordan Peruzza coming into the game. Do you like these changes, Terry? What do you make of them?
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how TFC 2 shape up now. I think Dante Campbell might slot back into that fullback position. I think TFC 2 are going to go with the front 3, possibly of Endo, Peruzza, and Ayo Akinola, or maybe even Endo off of Peruzza.
A very rare foul throw called, or is this a foul? Peruzza's going up top, big man, good move, and if you're Michael Rabaska, you kind of gonna throw all you can against the wall and hope something sticks at this point. Continue to put pressure. Your team's played very well here in the second half of play. What a joke. Suawi, just get on with it. Every time that TFC 2's had a free kick tonight, they've given no space. If the referee should have a look at how the way the game's played out. Every time TFC 2's been fouled, a Louisville player's right on the ball, and TFC 2 plays it down and gets on with it. Now Suawi's making a big deal of this. Come on, grow up.
Yeah, this side of the game at times can be frustrating. If I'm Ayo Akinola, though, just drop back, let them get on with it as quick as you can. This, to be fair, this plays right into the hands of Louisville.
Just like I said, get on with it.
And I think Sui.
Del Piccolo's he's had a running conversation with the referees all match, and I guess that's the advantage of having the captain's armband.
Look, have a little bit of game management. You're 2-0 up, and just get on with it. I agree with you, Reels.
Patterson Sewell, big punch. Well, Lancaster really didn't have much to do with that. He was basically standing there.
He wanted nothing to do with the cross. He just backed into Patterson Sewell.
Hey, Terry, you can get an inside look at life on and off the field from a player's perspective every Wednesday evening in the latest edition From the Pitch on USLsoccer.com. Wheeler and Dunfield with you, Illich and Suawi with the goals, 2-0 Louisville FC. Staring down, well, a win tonight would put them in sole possession of second place in the Eastern Conference.
And I think you always want a little bit of form, too. That would have been... We've still got 20 minutes to go. That's 4 wins in a row. Sets you up nicely for the off-season, postseason.
A lot of long balls being played. TFC 2 making their life unnecessarily more difficult than it has to be. There we go. Pressure comes. Boscovich, head up. Goes long. Well done by Akinola.
Yeah, good hold up from Ayo.
Good long ball. Telfer there. Craig on the run. Serble, or make that Endo gets it. Paco Craig's played very good tonight at center back, the big number 5 for Louisville.
It was smart from Endo. He'd seen that long ball from Ryan Telfer into Peruzza, and you might not win it, but as a midfielder, I think there you can gamble, especially when that ball hangs in the air for so long. The header from Craig off his back foot's only going to go so far, and I think on the turf it just didn't sit nicely for Endo, but he did well to pick up that second ball.
Serble getting stuck in like that work rate. Daniels. Ball inside the area. Campbell switched to left back, and this is my thought on him. When he's playing in the middle of the park, I understand why he's there, but over the course of the season, we've seen him play a multiple different positions. I prefer him at right back, Terry. I think he's got some real pace, can be a modern-day fullback. It's on the inside. He's a decent player there, but I think he's most effective on the wing. I don't know your thoughts on that.
Yeah, I'd probably say his best position would probably be in a midfield 3, where he's that box-to-box midfielder, just sort of that link player that able to really put pressure and press from a midfield 3. I think in a 2, you need to be able to pass, you need to be able to play, and at times his passing just let him down a little bit tonight. I think at fullback, you've got a player that can get up and down, that can deliver across. He's not really going to be beaten. He's quite athletic. Just need sort of learn how to play to his strengths almost.
Here comes TFC2. Peruzza to Akinola. Flag goes up. Saved by the flag. Right on the counter. Peruzza to Akinola. Taken away by the linesman. Question is, was the right call made? Was Io in fact in an offside position, Terry?
First look, I thought he was maybe half a yard offside. TFC2 looked very dangerous in transition there. Endo, great pass from him. He almost gives Big Craig the eyes there. Great disguised pass with his left foot, and you can just use the lines of the field here. You can see Io Akinola probably a yard offside.
Here they come again. Endo turns on the ball, turns a couple times like a figure skater.
Peruzza, since coming in, he's had an impact.
Yes.
He's looking to run in behind, and he's creating a little bit of space underneath for Endo to get on that ball.
Good ball to Telfer by Ukello. Far post, Peruzza's there. He just can't quite get his hair on that.
Yeah, that Ryan Telfer just overhit that one a little bit. When you chop back to your right foot there, I think you just want to aim that towards the back post, whereas if it misses everybody, it could sneak in. Trying to be a little bit precise with his delivery there.
Number 11, Niall McCabe, midfielder about to check into the game for Louisville.
Yeah, quality player. He's the player that normally plays as a 10 underneath the Lancaster.
I mean, Louisville City was so good in the first half of play. We've just seen a much different half of football play out here in the second half. But Louisville still holding on here. TFC2 just lacking that cutting edge in the attacking third.
Yeah, I think you got to give some credit too to TFC2.
Absolutely.
They've come into the game nicely, and they've put together some nice attacks. I think they've been a little bit more direct as well. Tried to play a little bit more into Louisville's half. I like how they've been on the front foot and pressed a little bit higher. They've turned the ball over in some better areas as well.
Night is done for Devin Williams as Niall McCabe coming into the game. Your thoughts on Williams' play? Looks like he's hobbling off the pitch.
Yeah, I think maybe he's picked up a little bit of a knock. I think he's one of the better midfielders in this league. Two-way player, good defensively. I think he's got a nice partnership with Del Piccolo. When he's that weak side midfielder, he looks to make up numbers and get in the box.
Niall McCabe now on. TFC2 still has one more change to make. $15 minutes and whatever time added on that Lozère wants to provide. Good read there by Campbell, advancing up for that right back position. Endo was a little bit too isolated just on the left-hand side. He's crept inside.
I don't think he really wanted that ball. I think you're making that run to create space for others. Because even if you do receive it there, you're running away from goal. You're not going to do a whole bunch with it.
Dombrowski into the night sky here north of the border on a Thanksgiving long weekend. Our American viewers will be like, what? It's not Thanksgiving. Canadian Thanksgiving comes much earlier. Celebrating a long weekend up here. Good way to kick it off with a Friday night football matchup. Here's Ownby. Goes far post, well read by both Patterson Sewell and Telfer. And Sean Hundle, another striker getting set to come in. Question is, does he come in for Akinola? Does he come in for Serble? Just how brave will Michael Rubaska be?
Like that in midfield. Nice dummy from McCabe.
Patterson Sewell, little pushing behind by Smith, no doubt about that. Sean Hundle, a striker, very good on the ball, about to come into the match for TFC2. Good run by Daniels. Changes have been very good for TFC2. Both players since coming on have had an influence. Good way to pass by Bjornathan Campbell.
I thought Bjornathan just stepped past Lancaster nicely.
Switch it, keep it coming. Hesitated. Telfer just a little bit too far advanced. Need to hang back a little bit. Here's Okello, good ball. Peruzza well read. And yeah, it's well read by who? Paco Craig again. Akinola leaves a foot in a little bit. It's been a frustrating night for Ayo, hasn't it?
He's just got to be careful here. He's already been booked.
Well, won't have to be careful for any longer. His night's done. Number 20. I mean, scored a big goal down in Charleston. 79th minute comes out of the match, and Sean Hundle comes in. Your thoughts on Akinola's performance tonight, Terry Dunfield?
I thought it was a mixed performance. I thought he came into the game a little bit more in the second half. I thought his movement wasn't particularly great in the first half, but I thought he competed and challenged, and he tried to make things happen in the second half. I think it's a good decision. The last thing is you want him sent off or being on a booking. And it gives Sean Hundle an opportunity to show what he can do.
Hey, George! George!
Boscovich does well. Jonathan Mann coming on. Hot and heavy, it's own beat. Peruzza. Good touch. Hundle. Well played by Illich to McCabe. Smith. Mr. Double Centurion, Davis the fourth, looking top corner, top cheese. That's the way to celebrate a 200th appearance.
I think it was a cross-come shot there. Nice hold-up play from Illich to really set that attack up. I think he thought maybe Lancaster came short to go around the back post, and in the end, I think Lancaster wanted that ball to feet or into that near post area.
Dombrowski. Heavy touch by Bjornathan. Here comes Lancaster on 21 goals. Make it 22. A clinical finish. Cameron Lancaster. The man cannot be stopped. Capitalizing on another defensive mistake. 3 in the back of the net for Louisville City, and 3 points most certainly theirs now. Lancaster with the goal, and the visitors are going to go away with the full share of the spoils on this night.
Yeah, Bjornathan tries to control it with his chest. Louisville are all over that, and that was clinical from Lancaster. One touch to set it, and then on his left foot, catches it on the half volley, hits right across it, goes under Patterson Sewell. Not a whole bunch he can do. Really looked like the top goal scorer of the league the way he took that there.
There was no doubt. I almost started him the goal call as soon as he brought down the ball, was under control. You just knew it was going to end up in the back of the net. Nothing, and I mean nothing, the goalkeeper could do. Lancaster, top player, top finish, Terry.
He really took it in his stride extremely well. He only had one intention once he nicked that ball off Bjornathan, and that was to set it and get in behind as quick as he could. And the weight on the pass was excellent on that through ball, and really hit that half volley sweetly with his left foot. I think that's more or less. It's going to be tough to come back at 3.
Well, on the night, the TFC2 coaching staff will not be thrilled based on how the goals were conceded. 2 self-inflicted wounds and the other from a set piece.
Yeah, and even if you track that set piece back, it comes from an unnecessary free kick in and around halfway. You defend that set piece, and then on the resulting corner kick, you concede. So especially the first and third goal, it will be difficult to swallow. I think those are goals that the group know that they can do better, but really clinical from Louisville. Went through Tottenham's academy, Lancaster.
Voting for September's USL Player of the Month, Goal of the Month, and Save of the Month begins on Thursday afternoon and will run throughout the weekend. Have your say on which player should take home the awards. USLsoccer.com. Illich made a meal of that, but it's well past supper time now.
I wonder what's going through poor Spencer's head. For 70 minutes, 65 minutes, he worked his socks off. He chased and tackled and held the ball up, did everything he could do. And then Lancaster comes on, and within 5 minutes, gets his 22nd goal of the season. And what a beautiful finish that was.
Well, you make your own luck as well. He was in the right spot, just positioning's everything. You need to anticipate, and he did that oh so well. Okello, nice work. Ball over the top. Hundle stayed on side, just needed to get a touch on the ball.
I wonder if he could have gone with that with his left foot there.
If he didn't clip his toenails this morning, he would have got on that.
Yeah, it was a great ball. Yeah, it was a great ball in behind. I just think he goes with his right. Could have gone with his left foot here. Nice ball in behind from Okello. Maybe the wind takes it a little bit as well. Showed a nice change of pace to get in behind Louisville.
Illich. Whoa, Lancaster left in that shoulder.
I think there might be a little bit of interest, possibly from the MLS in Lancaster. I think Louisville will do well to keep hold of him. Still a really good age. I know it's tough to break into his sides in MLS where there's a lot of designated players in that position where he plays, but.
Good touch. McCabe. Illich. Davis the fourth. Here they come again in waves. Far post. Ombi. Well,
you can see why he's got no goals on the season.
I said maybe the beard's weighing him down.
Yeah, he weighed him down a little bit there. He doesn't really get over top of that header. It was a great ball from Davis on his 200th appearance. And all you should go through your head in that situation is get your head over top of it and head it back where it's come from.
Careless giveaway by Daniels, taking the quick free kick. Boscovich reads that well to win that back. Campbell, can he get past the defender? Push in the back on Jimenez. I mean, the linesman put his flag up. I could have made that call from here.
Yeah, a little bit of a frustrated tackle there. He'll give you everything, Dante Campbell.
That's fair. He came in with his shoulder. Like I'd have a bigger problem if you're coming after the legs of the player, trying to chop him down.
Fair play from Jimenez. He just went over and got on with it right in front of the Louisville supporters.
Jimenez did well, just getting his body between the player and the ball.
Yeah, it was a tough ball to take as well. Boscovich wraps it into him, chest high. I thought Peruzza made quite a good run in depth there. I think Boscovich could have played after a good interception. Maybe that longer pass.
Poof, and Bjornathan. I mean, every time Bjornathan's got on the ball, he's got a white shirt on him. Ombi plays it off Boscovich, and that's his luck right there. Does all the work. Him and Spencer they put in so much work here tonight.
Yeah, some of the positions defensively when Louisville are pressing, Ombi picks up on that weak side are excellent. Just didn't get a little bit of luck there. It never really sat for him. Might have been better looking to pass it there.
Time ticking away on TFT2's home schedule. New home this season here in Lamport Stadium. Going down a division next year. Young players. I mean, it's a group of really largely teenagers, Terry, that are playing in a league with so many good veteran players. So they'll find the right level. Good work by Serbal winning that ball back. And a learning experience, and there actually has been progression. I know it doesn't look that way in the standings, but the team's played a lot better as the season's gone on. Daniels to Campbell inside the 18, and
just took an extra touch there.
did. Peruzza turns,
Good
turn
though.
on the ball, on his left foot, and Peruzza rewarded for his efforts. Well done, Jordan Peruzza. A stepping, gets it on the left foot. Deserved finish by the young TFC2 striker. That's the way to go out on a high. TFC2 into the back of the net. It's a 3-1 game.
What a way to make an impression off the bench for Peruzza. This goal is all him. Great feet from the big man. Eventually sets himself on that left foot and shows great composure to just pass that into the far corner. You don't always need to wallop that ball.
First goal of the season for Jordan Peruzza.
Yeah, I think not only the goal, since coming off the bench, he's really made an impression, and he's looked to get on to the end of things. His hold-up play's been good at times. Would have been nice if somebody would have celebrated with him.
Yeah, not bad. First goal. He's 17 years of age, Terry. Big moment in his young career, blossoming career.
Yeah, he spent a lot of time overseas in Italy, and it didn't quite work out for him, and he's come back to Canada where he grew up, and he's been given an opportunity in the academy, and I've seen him play a little bit for the under-19s in TFC3, and every time he plays, he looks a threat. He gives you a little bit of a different look up top. He's kind of plays at his own pace, at his own tempo, but there's definitely something there, as we just saw.
Ownby cuts it back. Illich can't control that. Here's Smith. Look out, chance on the counter. Peruzza just running out of control. He was onside because he was playing in his own half. No doubt he's offside that time. A little bit too anxious, feeling good up to that goal being scored. But there was an opportunity to get out on the counter there.
A little bit of adrenaline going through his system there.
5-10 yards offside.
Yeah, he was almost on the TTC tracks there. But no, a nice moment for him, and I'm sure his family are watching the broadcast, and a lot of hard work is behind the scenes is gone into that goal, and it's good to see that rewarded.
Just his second appearance here, TFC2.
And without the USL and TFC here, you know, he'd be probably languishing over in the lower leagues in Italy, trying to find a place to play.
Ownby behind the back line. McCabe, he's got Lancaster.
They look a different team with Davis the third, Ownby, Lancaster now, Davis the fourth, sorry.
I know my Roman numerals based upon Rocky movies. That's about it. 4 was the one with Drago.
Oh, he's in again.
That
looked close.
That looked onside.
That looked really close, that one. He's really enjoying himself out there, Peruzza. He'll be disappointed to hear the final whistle. Nice movement from him. I thought he bent his run extremely well.
3 minutes of time added on. See the countdown on the screen. Just in case you needed reminding. TFC2 back on the road for a couple away matches this week. Follow along on USLsoccer.com, ESPN+.
I think he's definitely given Rabaska a decision to make, though. When you come off the bench, you score, your work rate's like that. It's almost infectious. He wants the ball. His confidence is high. I mean, it'll be hard not to at least give him half a game.
TFC2 play in Nashville on Tuesday. Any way that we can get on the bus to Nashville, it is my favorite city in the United States of America. It's always a good time.
Mine's Chicago.
Have you been to Nashville?
No.
I was there for my bachelor party. We'll end that story there. I was there this summer as well.
How long were you there?
Long enough. I like to call it
music scene.
I like to call it blue collar Vegas without the gambling, but a lot of live music and a lot of. It's the bachelorette party of the world. I'm pretty positive about that. And then TFC2 finishes off their station against season against Penn FC next Saturday.
My pal David Edgar, he had a month there on loan.
Not a bad place to be.
Yeah, he enjoyed his time.
1 minute remaining. 1 minute.
Campbell. Daniels. Not even a big country music fan. It doesn't matter. You don't have to be. It's just, it's brilliant.
I heard live music starts at 9 in the morning or something.
I don't think
like
it stops,
Right.
basically. Campbell, TFC 2 have it in them to find another goal here in the dying seconds. Probably not. Louisville City is going to move to second place in the Eastern Conference, and they put about down a benchmark as the Pittsburgh Riverhounds will play a little bit later on this weekend. I mean, that's what we want to do. Friday night match, you're kicking off the weekend schedule and lay down the benchmark. They're going to go to 60 points through 32 games played. The Riverhounds on 57. It really looks like, pardon the pun for all those in Louisville, a two-horse race for second place. And there you go, 17 wins on the season for Louisville City, ticking over nicely, heading over into postseason action. TFC 2, difficult first half, much better showing in the second 45 minutes, and they end their home schedule with a 3-1 loss to Louisville City. Your thoughts on the way it played out here tonight, Terry?
Yeah, I thought TFC 2 were much better in the second half, started to create some opportunities. I thought the young substitute Peruzza was excellent, and sometimes in this game you get what you deserve. I thought his performance deserved a goal.
Highlights and a match wrap. Well, that's coming up next. Final score here from Lamport Stadium, downtown Toronto. On Canadian Thanksgiving weekend, while Louisville City fans thankful for the full 3 points and a 3-1 victory on USLsoccer.com and ESPN+. Welcome back inside Lamport Stadium. 9.5-hour drive due north. Well worth it for these Louisville City FC supporters. They're going home with all kinds of good memories. A good time here in Toronto, and more importantly, the full 3 points. Louisville City 3, Toronto FC 2-1. Gareth Wheeler alongside Terry Dunfield. Look, Toronto FC 2, it's been a difficult season for a very young team. They wrap up their home schedule tonight. They get the consolation goal late, but they showed glimpses of all the promise they've shown in recent months with a very good second half performance. Quite frankly, self-inflicted wounds and a difficult first half really buried them.
Yeah, I think when you concede the types of goals they're conceding, it's always going to be difficult. And at the moment, TFC 2 are struggling to put a complete 90 minutes together. And I thought this first goal was preventable. Spencer caused problems all night just with his physical presence. Ilyich, he gets onto his second ball, and poor Caleb Patterson-Sewell can't do a whole bunch about this. Takes a slight deflection off Boskovic.
Yeah, difficult back pass by Campbell. Ilyich, his 11th goal of the season, opened the scoring. The service by Jimenez on set pieces all night, a consistent threat. Alexis is on fire. Alexis Suawi gets the goal near post, picture perfect. gotta love that service by Jimenez, such a threat.
Yeah, you're never going to miss from there. And then Bjornathan just tries to take a touch here. I thought it was the right decision, gets away from him, and then the league's leading goal scorers just come off the bench, and a real clinical finish with him off his left foot.
Cameron Lancaster, you just knew he was going to find the back of the net. Goal number 22 on this USL season, but a consolation strike and a good moment for 17-year-old Jordan Peruzza. He gets his first USL goal. Individual brilliance right there, steps through 2 defenders, Terry.
Yeah, great technique and skill from him, and then just strokes it home, passes it into that corner.
There's a look at your full-time stats, and Toronto FC 2 more games on their season. Louisville 2 more regular season games before playoff action. They are now on 60 points and in second place in the Eastern Conference. It's been a fun year for us calling these TFC2 games, Terry, but really the learning curve is steep, and a lot of players have really grown over the course of the season.
Yeah, I think the young players have developed, and it does take time and patience, but I think most of this squad will be better for this season and are improving.
I want to thank our entire production crew. We would not be on air without them, led by Capitano himself, Kyle Hall, as our producer. It's been a pleasure working alongside my good buddy Terry Dunfield as well. On behalf of everyone working hard here north of the border, I am Gareth Wheeler, full-time scorer from Lamport Stadium, Louisville 3 and TFC 2-1.
Louisville's